That's my New Year's resolution. Not to have cold coffee and ice cream. It's a weight thing. It's hard.
Bad, Subho.
See, I have an angel, and whenever I look to break my resolution, something stops me. Too hard.
Bad, Subho.
You know what? I'm going to try and actually resist temptation. Hey folks, I'm Subho and you're watching The Big Buck Show. It's a show where we tell you how you can start your investment journey and more importantly, how you can turn your small bucks into big bucks. However, most of us don't have the luxury of someone coming in and stopping us from drinking this cold coffee. And so what happens is New Year's resolutions don't matter. And of course, there's the usual, all resolutions fail within the first week, all of that. I think what they don't tell you is that most resolutions don't start. Because the examples we get are, hey, I was not going to do something and then I did it, sweets, coffee, all of that. But what's more damaging from a financial perspective is the resolutions that you don't start. And you don't have a good conscience telling you, hey, do this, hey, do this. What I'm talking about is really making good on your investment promises to yourself. So what are the resolutions that matter? The first one from a financial perspective is something you have to actively do. And the reason I think this matters is because once you start, this is something that can continue. And what I'm talking about is making daily savings a reality. Did you take a double take? Daily savings? Yes. Why is that? The science is that if you have a habit, right, it takes about 10,000 repetitions for that habit to become a practice, something that is hardwired. That's why daily savings matters. Because it means you're doing something every day, it means you can start small, and it means that you can help yourself continue because you know that if you missed one day, there was an issue, so you can recover. And there are a bunch of different solutions for you to do this, right? This is basically putting SIPs on steroids because it's taking the concept of a monthly commitment and saying, no, let's make it a daily commitment, almost like exercise, right? If you really want the benefits at least 6 days a week, or you don't really lose weight or gain muscle mass. The same thing with financial muscle. Can we actually make this something that you do every day? And there are a number of different options for you to do this. And of course, I'm a firm believer that you should involve technology and as many support aids as you can, because support is good in terms of you delivering on your New Year's resolutions.
Bad, Subho.
Like I said, support is good. The second resolution has to do with how you direct the money you're investing from your first resolution. So if you're investing daily, it's equally important that you take the time to make sure that you're identifying your needs, goals, and risk appetite. Why is that important? Because just saving money doesn't quite work. You have to invest it, and it has to be invested in a way that meets your needs. So decide your goals. Do you want to save for a trip? Do you want to save for a house? Do you want to save for retirement, for education? Make sure that your goals match what you can fund, and then make sure that you're actually designing a portfolio that is consistent with your objectives. This is again super important. Most people don't do this because it's an extra step. It takes you an hour or two to sit down, jot this down. You might need help, right? You might need someone to actually walk you through it. You might need to use, again, technology to help you understand what you need to do. But this is pretty important. And sometime in the new year, at the beginning of the year, you need to actually do this. The third piece is make sure you have a balanced portfolio from a time horizon. We're all impatient. Typically what happens is if you say, you know what, I'm only going to invest for 10 years later, you're going to start getting, that itch to say, hey, I want to see returns. I want to spend some of that. Can I use it for short term? So build a portfolio that obviously solves for long-term needs, but also gives you some reward in the short term. I know this isn't traditional investment, wisdom, but rewarding yourself and having a short-term goal married to a much longer-term goal where the money is put away is actually quite useful. It's the equivalent of cheat day, right? I'm going to diet, I'm going to live a healthy life, but I have a cheat day on Saturday. Give yourself the equivalent of a cheat day, and you'll see that your investment discipline will generally get better. Your fourth resolution has to be about diversification. Why? Because, my opinion, variety is the spice of life. And more importantly, you've got to make sure that you're not putting all your eggs in one basket. Invest in a broad range of investment options, invest in India and abroad, and make sure that you have a portfolio that really works for you, but is also well balanced and is spread across multiple assets, multiple geographies, because that means that the likely return that you receive is going to be higher for a potentially lower risk. And finally, this is about you, right? The same way when you exercise, you decide your goal. Is it to lose weight? Is it to build muscle mass? Is it to have biceps like Arnold Schwarzenegger? That's your call. Similarly, the portfolio build has to be something you believe in. Are you, while diversified, do you have a tech focus? Are you looking for counter-cyclical bets? Are you going to essentially mirror the top 50 index stocks because that's what makes you feel safe? I think you have to make sure that you have your personal imprint, and for that, again, there are tools available so that you can understand, digest, and form an opinion and make an informed decision. More importantly, you don't have to make that decision every day. If you don't like the hassle of saying, look, I can save daily, I can make sure it's set up to be diversified, but I don't want the hassle of doing this every day, you can set up automated investments so that you make these choices once and you can essentially fill it, shut it, forget it. But it's pretty important to make sure that you do this because you have to be comfortable with what you're investing in. So let's recap. Resolution 1, make daily savings a reality. It's for your own good. Resolution 2, make sure that you identify your needs, goals, and you are very comfortable with how you're setting up your investments. Resolution 3, make sure you have some rewards in the short term that you're accounting for, right? The financial investment equivalent of a cheat day. Resolution 4, diversify. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Make sure you're spreading your investments across security types and market types and geographies. Resolution 5, make sure that it's a portfolio that's about you, that reflects your thinking and your choices. Now, doing all of this will mean that if you actually start, by the end of the year, you'll have the beginnings of an nest egg, or you'll have achieved a goal. And, what we've learned over the past year and a half is what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Well, here's another lesson. What you invest makes you stronger as well, right? Financially. So go at it the way you get your vaccine booster shots. If you haven't already gotten them, get your financial booster shot, make your financial resolutions, and actually invest. And I think I've earned that now.
Bad, Subho.
Maybe not. There you go. This is Subho signing off for The Big Buck Show. Hey folks, thanks for watching The Big Buck Show. And tell us how you thought about this episode in the comments below. Subscribe to our channel, please, and hit the notification bell so you get a notification next time a video shows up. Also, don't forget to follow us on social media. We have a Twitter channel, a YouTube channel, and of course, also an audio podcast. And hey, continue watching us so that you can turn your small bucks into big bucks.